I call this meeting to order. The City Commission of Rio Grande City. It is Wednesday, April the 3rd, approximately 6:01 p.m. here in Commission Chambers, 5332 East US Highway 83, Suite A, Rio Grande City, Texas. At this time, we'll have the invocation by Commissioner Flores, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Ramirez.
Bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to join here today to conduct city business. We thank you for all of the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We ask for your protection and your guidance. We ask that you continue guiding us in conducting city business and in our future projects. We ask for your protection of our law enforcement agencies, including officers, Border Patrol, and our troops. And we ask that you keep them out of harm's way. And we ask for you to continue blessing our city and our residents. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor to the flag, pledge allegiance to thee, Texas as one state under God, one and indivisible.
This time, next business and orders item 1A. Or actually 1B, roll call and finding of quorum. Ms. Peña?
Mayor Villarreal.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Garza.
Here.
Commissioner Flores.
Here.
Commissioner Ramirez.
here.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you. Next, business and orders item 1C, reading a proclamation. April is Fair Housing Month. 1C. Rio Grande City Proclamation, whereas Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, as amended, prohibits discrimination in housing and declares it a national policy to provide within constitutional limits for fair housing in the United States of America, and whereas the principle of fair housing is not only national policy, but a fundamental human concept and entitlement for all Americans. And whereas the National Fair Housing Law during the month of April provides an opportunity for all Americans to recognize that complete success in the goal of equal housing opportunity can only be accomplished with the help and cooperation of all Americans. Now therefore, I, Joel Villarreal, Mayor of the great city of Rio Grande City, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor, do hereby proclaim April as Fair Housing Month in Rio Grande City, Texas, and do hereby urge all citizens of this locality to become aware of and support the fair housing law. Next business and orders item 1D, reading a proclamation. April is Alcohol Awareness Month. Proclamation Alcohol Awareness Month 2019, Hope for Today, Hope for Tomorrow. Whereas excessive drinking is responsible for more than 4,300 deaths among underage youth each year, and whereas alcohol is the most commonly used addictive substance in the United States, and whereas more than 1.6 million young people report driving under the influence of alcohol in the past year, and whereas young people who begin drinking before age 15 are 4 times more likely to develop alcohol dependence than those who begin drinking at age 21. And whereas drinking by persons under the age of 21 is linked to 189,000 emergency room visits, and whereas the typical American will see 100,000 beer commercials before he or she turns 18, and whereas kids who drink are more likely to be victims of violent crime, to be involved in alcohol-related traffic crashes, and to have serious school-related problems. And whereas a supportive family environment is associated with lower rates of alcohol use for adolescents, and whereas kids who have conversations with their parents and learn a lot about the dangers of alcohol and drug use are 50% less likely to use alcohol and drugs than those who don't have such conversations. Therefore, I, Joel Villarreal, now join Stark County Community Coalition of SCAN with NECADA, and do hereby proclaim the April 2019 is Alcohol Awareness Month in Rio Grande City. As mayor of the great city of Rio Grande City, I also call upon all citizens, parents, governmental agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, hospitals, schools, and colleges in Rio Grande City to support efforts that will provide early education about alcoholism and addiction and increase support for individuals and families coping with alcoholism. Through these efforts, together we can provide help for today, hope for tomorrow, for those in our community who are facing challenges with use of alcohol. Next business and orders, item 1D. 1E, reading a proclamation, April is Week of the Young Child. Whereas the South Texas College Child Development Department and the Child Development and Early Childhood Department are celebrating the Week of the Young Child for April 8th through April 12th, 2019. And whereas these organizations are working to improve early learning opportunities, including early literacy programs that can provide a foundation of learning for children in Rio Grande City, and whereas teachers and others who make a difference in the lives of young children in Rio Grande City deserve thanks and recognition, and whereas public policies that support early learning for all young children are crucial to young children's futures. Now, therefore, I, Joel Villarreal, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of Rio Grande City, Texas, do hereby proclaim April 8th, 2019 through April 12th, 2019 as the Week of the Young Child in Rio Grande City, Texas, and urge all citizens to recognize and support the needs of young children in our community and to ensure that all young children enjoy an early childhood that prepares them to take full advantage of their educational opportunities and to become effective citizens, capable workers, and loving parents of the next generation. Next business and orders, item 1F, departmental reports.
Mayor and Commissioners, we got several new hires. I'm going to let the directors introduce them to you. We'll start with Mr. Cantu.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilman. At this time, I would like to, first of all, give you an update on our status on the 16-17 audit. I requested a written update from our auditor. He stated that he's at 65 to 70% done for our audit. He's been working on it diligently every day, requesting stuff on a daily basis. So with that being said, it was necessary for us to replace Priscilla, which now moved to another department, and I would like to introduce Itzel Lopez. She's our new accounts payable clerk. Itzel, she's back there. She's a recent graduate from UTRGV, graduated in May of 2018 with her degree in accounting. I would also like to introduce Ms. Juana Muñiz. She's gonna be graduating in December. She's gonna be coming in as a part-timer. Temporary. Like I said, our audit is 65 to 70% done. We have to be ready for the next audit, which we are not at this time. So she's going to be working with us part-time, temporarily, just to bring us up to date and hopefully get the audits done. She's also going to be graduating with her degree in accounting in December. This is going to serve her as an internship. She's going to get 3 hours credit also for one of her classes, I believe, right? So they're both really smart, enthusiastic, and they seem that they want to learn, and I think it's beneficial for both of us. They are learning, and we need their help. So.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
Would you like to say a few words, ladies?
I would like to thank the city for this opportunity. I just needed to graduate, but I like to have the experience and learn.
Thank you.
Yo diría lo mismo, pero como soy una accounting person, no sé muchas palabras.
Yeah, she's more about numbers, though. That's a good thing.
All right, you both passed your first test. Thank you. Do we have any other employees too?
Mr. Milan?
Okay, that we can take a picture with all of them
Yes.
before.
Mr. Milan?
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners.
Good evening.
We have a new permits clerk. Her name is Julieta Garcia. She goes by Julie. She is a native of Rio Grande City. And she has currently helped us at the Boys and Girls Club, so she just transferred to our department.
She was part-time before.
Okay.
Yes.
So now full-time?
And so far, so good. She's picked up the system already. So
Fantastic.
welcome.
And then you got Mr.
Welcome on board.
she is the one facing the constituents, upset about garage sales or building permits or things of that nature. So, but she's picking up real quick.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, would you like to say a few words, please?
No, just thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thank you.
You got Mr. Cruz.
Thank you, and welcome on board.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. We got quite a few employees that we've brought into the city. They're all natives of the city of Rio Grande City, and I'm excited to bring them on board. We got some young talent, we got some veteran talent, and it's a great combination. So when I call them, I guess if you don't mind just coming so the council can see who you are. Nicolas Pruneda. He literally just got out of work right now, and he wanted to come over here, so
great.
thank you for being here, Mr. Nicolas. He said show up, he showed up. Agustin Olivares, Mr. Agustin Olivares is currently at a site right now that we just discussed earlier, so he's at a site right now, he couldn't be here, but we want to thank him for being with us as well too. Ms. Ramirez, Ms. Paulina Ramirez, you want to come over here? She's a shy one. She's young, but she's actually caught on really quick. She's helping us with our new work order system that we'll be implementing, and she's helping Cindy with a bunch of initiatives that Cindy and Maggie are tackling together. So thank you, Paulina. And we have Mr. Luis Ramirez. How you doing, Mr. Ramirez? Mr. Ramirez just joined us this week as well too. And last but not least, we have Mr. Jacob Falcon. Mr. Jacob Falcon also serves our country. He will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, and he serves our country in the U.S. Army Reserve. So thank you for your service, Mr. Falcon, as well too. So this is our additions to the family, and we want to thank him for being here with the city of Rio Grande City.
Great. And to be fair, would you like to, anyone say a few words? You have the floor.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for the opportunity, and I look forward to working with great staff, great people, so we can make this community better.
Thank you. Welcome. Si usted dice unas palabras o con lo que quiera decir está bien, si no está bien.
It's the same thing.
All right.
Thanks for the opportunity working here, and I will
Great.
do the best I can for the city.
Thank you.
I think he's being very, very
Welcome.
humble and very shy. He has helped us tremendously since coming. He's actually helping us out in the water treatment program with Mr. Basan.
Fantastic.
And assisting him out there, and he's done wonders already in helping us out there. So thank you very much for your help.
Very good. Fantastic.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Just simply thank you for the opportunity and thank you for your time.
Thank you all, and again, welcome on board. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Welcome on board.
Well, before they leave, we want to get the rest together and take a
Yes.
picture. Get them all
Let's
out
take
of
a
the way.
picture of all the new employees, new hires. Is that it, or do
Get
we
them all
have
together,
anybody?
yeah.
Don't leave yet, so we can take a photograph of all the new employees here with our commission. Do we have anyone else, Mr. Betts?
That's it.
All right. We can take a photograph.
Ms. Guillen? Ms. Guillen?
Yeah, we'll go to the,
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners.
good evening.
In 2005, the City of Hidalgo and Border Fest created the Rio Grande Valley Walk of Fame, which recognizes the life achievements and significant contributions of individuals who have made a difference in the Rio Grande Valley and South Texas. On February 27th, Rio Grande City citizens Ms. Norma Gomez Foltz, Mr. Juan J. and Maria del Carmen Caro were inducted into the 2019 Rio Grande Valley Walk of Fame at the State Farm Arena. The Rio Grande City Chamber of Commerce chose to honor Juan J. and Maria del Carmen Caro, owners of the legendary restaurant known by locals and visitors alike as Caro's. Mr. and Ms. Caro are recognized for their enduring work ethic and dedication to the community. The Caros have placed Rio Grande City on the map for culinary quests to try the distinctly puffy tacos shells that only few places in Texas are known for. Their unique recipe draws visitors from around the Rio Grande Valley and Texas to Rio Grande City for a taco and plenty of history. The Caros have also contributed significantly to their community's academic and athletic programs, the Catholic Church, and the arts. Mr. Caro was a talented artist, and his work adorns the walls of the family restaurant as well as Immaculate Conception Church. The impact that Mr. and Ms. Caro have had on the city of Rio Grande City is great. They have inspired local entrepreneurs to follow their dreams to own a business. They have led by example and given back to the community that has helped them succeed in their endeavor. With his wife by his side, Mr. Caro established the legacy through quality food, good service, and welcoming all who dined at Caro's like family. Sadly, Mr. Caro passed away in 2017. However, Mrs. Caro and her children, who are here with us today, continue the legacy, and in 2019, Caro celebrates 80 years of business. Once again, the City of Rio Grande City proudly congratulates Mr. and Mrs. Caro for their extraordinary accomplishments. And I have with me here the plaque that was provided for them, and we do have members of the Rio Grande City Chamber of Commerce who'd like to present this in your presence. Mrs. Caro, would you like to join us? And members of the Rio Grande City Chamber of Commerce.
Es un gran honor para la Cámara de Comercio reconocer en la ciudad de Río Grande una empresa con tantos años. En los tiempos actuales difícilmente pueden pasar 3, 4, 5, 10 años de un negocio. Pero Caro's Restaurant ha rebasado con mucho por su calidad, por su servicio, por su trabajo, por la responsabilidad que tienen en el marketing de negocios. Rio Grande Chamber of Commerce entrega esta placa que bien se ha ganado y que merece todo el respeto de la ciudadanía. Tenga usted un feliz día y siga prosperando como tal, porque es la imagen de Rio Grande en lo que es la gastronomía. Felicidades.
Gracias.
Pásele aquí
Yes,
enfrente.
Mayor, Commissioners, we'd like a photo with the group. Easy.
Si gusta
You
decir
wanna
unas
stand
palabras,
up?
Miss Caro, también la invito.
Y no les traje coffee tacos.
Next.
Mr. Milan?
I just
I'm
have
sorry.
one quick announcement. Just to let you know that we are working with the County of Star on the Census 2020 planning. And so I'm going to ask you to save the date of April 23rd, 2019 for a training that will be offered in the local community to our local governments and other stakeholders to get familiar with the census process. And this will take place from 9 a.m. to noon at the courthouse annex. So just to put that on your calendar. We'll send a reminder as we get closer to the date. Thank you.
Mr. Milan? He's got one person to introduce to you guys. Huh? He's not? Okay. Milan, it's further down in the agenda. Okay, never mind. Okay, one more announcement from a department, from Ms. Foltz. She really doesn't have a report, but she wanted me to mention that she's got an art walk scheduled for this Thursday. Is that correct, Ms. Norma?
Yes.
Is that it?
From 5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Yes. We have a lot of talented artists that have already signed up, along with music and craft vendors. It'll be a very nice evening for everybody. Hope y'all attend.
Okay, that's it for department reports.
At this time, if no one objects, we'll move to item 6A, discussion and possible action on the appointment of municipal judge. No objection of item 6A. And at this time, definitely want to address the elephant in the room. While it is unfortunate and disappointing what occurred to our municipal court, it is I want to reassure the residents of Rio Grande City that the federal charge and subsequent plea by Mr. Lopez is in no way related to his duties or activities as municipal court judge for Rio Grande City. And it is imperative that we move forward and put this behind us. And at this time, our city commission is ready to move forward. So at this time, any discussion on this item? Ready for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make the motion that we appoint Mr. Basilio Villarreal as our next Rio Grande City Municipal Judge.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Garza. We have a second by Commissioner Ramirez to appoint Mr. Basilio Villarreal Municipal Court Judge. Any further discussion on this item? Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed? Motion carries. At this time, we'll proceed with the swearing in.
Swearing in. He might want to say something.
Mr. Basilio Villarreal, you have the floor, sir.
Let me use the microphone. Let me start off with a great city now. First of all, let me say to all the commissioners and everybody in Rio Grande City, thank you for having the faith in me. I can only tell you all that I'm going to do what is honest, right, and good for this community. I feel part of this community. My father, first mayor, my brother, mayor, and now I'm here where I'm at, and I feel a special kindred to you all to be a part of this organization. At this time, let me also thank, the one who puts up with me a lot is my wife, Delina, my son, Chico, girlfriend, and Lisa, but at the end of the day, family is what makes us strong. But I can guarantee you, we're going to make Rio Grande, I pledge to all of you right now that we're going to do the best job ever, and we're going to make Rio Grande City the best city, not only in the state of Texas, but in these United States. Thank you.
Hey, you're not the judge yet, sir. Let's proceed over here. All right.
This guy was a member with me in the school board many years ago, but he had a little bit, had a better hairdo than me. Well, last thing I would say, I'm very fortunate to have two of my buddies here, which is Eddie and Noe, members with me in the school board. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Get over here. It's an Aggie swearing in a Longhorn. There you go.
I, Basilio D. Villarreal,
I, Basilio D. Villarreal,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of municipal judge
of municipal judge
of the city of Rio Grande City,
of the
Texas,
great city of Rio Grande City, Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve,
protect,
and defend
the
Constitution and laws
constitutions and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
There you go. Official.
Picture, you got it. Over here, guys.
Keep them in there.
Let me also, before I go, let me also thank my niece. I did see her here a little while ago, and her husband for being here. Thank you. Es que quiero tomarme otro retrato con el aire aquí. Thanks a lot. Me puse en la chiva de... Thank you. Thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you.
He will.
No, he doesn't. From experience.
Back to, are we done with departmental reports? Mr. Perez? Okay. All right, next business and orders, item 1, 2, actually 2, consent agenda. And this is letter A, approval of departmental travel request. Letter B, approval of minutes from previous meetings. This time you have your package. Any additions, subtractions, or do we have a motion at this time?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve consent agenda items 2A and 2B.
Okay, we have a motion to approve consent agenda items 2A and 2B by Commissioner Ramirez. Second by Commissioner Flores. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye opposed? Motion carries. Next, business and orders item 3, resolutions, letter A. Discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2019-7 to acquire purchase of real property, 50 by 50 tract of land located approximately at 111 Pine Street from Pedro Morin Jr. and Silvestre Morin for the public purpose of constructing a lift station and authorizing city manager and city attorney to execute any and all necessary legal documents. 3A.
Mayor and Commissioners, this is part of the lift station project. We were able to settle with Mr. Morin and his attorney on an agreed price, $8,500 for the 50 by 50. It used to be a lot higher. We came down to 7, and then we ended up at 8,500. So he's ready to sign and ready to go. This is one of the ones that's been holding up the project, so we're excited about this. The second one is also tied to the lift station project, and I'll let Mr. Cruz add to whatever he would like to add to those 2 points right there, but they're both involving the properties. The second one is only allowing us access at this time. We have not settled because we have not been able to get in there and truly get a factual appraisal so we can make them a valid offer. So the first one is to purchase, the second one is to get access so we can get a good appraisal. Mr. Cruz?
Any questions regarding that? These are the two, once we finish with, and I know we have our engineer here as well too, Mr. Julio. Once we finish with, we're on the BBA lift station and also the Solis lift station. So these would be the next 2 lift stations that we go to. Obviously there was an issue with acquiring the properties, but we've gotten the good news, and myself and Ms. Peña actually went to go get those signatures today so that we can write them the check and get that property going. The Perez property is taking us a little bit longer than anticipated, but the good thing is that we got this one going, so we'll be able to continue the project going, so it's not just gonna stop.
Okay.
Any questions?
So we're okay with the price, everybody? I mean, at this point, to move forward on this lift station? Any further discussion? If not, let's entertain a motion at this time. Okay, we have a motion to approve. Letter 3A by Commissioner Garza.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Flores. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next is 3B, discussion and possible action to approve resolution 2019-8 to acquire utility easement located approximately at 105 H&H Drive, Rio Grande City, Texas, and authorizing the city manager and city attorney to execute any and all legal documents necessary. I know you already mentioned this property, and it's just to survey it, you said, or to...
This is a right of entry for...
Okay, the right of entry to be able to...
This is for acquiring an easement so that we can
Okay.
actually set up some utilities in that area.
All right.
Mayor, I'm gonna abstain from this agenda.
Okay.
Mayor, I motion to approve item 3B.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 3B by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Jones. One abstention by Commissioner Garza. This time, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed? Motion carries. Next, business and orders, item 4, City Manager's Report, Letter A, discussion and possible action to declare certain equipment as surplus. 4A.
Got Chief Castillo?
Good evening, Mayor and City Commission.
Hello, Chief. How are you today, sir?
Oh, we're doing great. With the items that are on that list are all computers, old computers that our IT personnel said that they were no longer in use and we need to get rid of. So we could put that up as long as he takes everything out that is of police interest and clear them up. We could sell them in auction. So that's all we got on that one.
Chief, I was going to ask you, what happens to all the items that don't get sold at the auction?
The what, I'm sorry?
The items that don't get sold at the auction, what I'll do with them? Y'all just
We'll
store them
just
again?
destroy
Or y'all
them.
destroy them?
We'll destroy them probably and just get rid of them, throw them away.
Okay.
But it just has to go through the process.
Good. Okay, we have a motion to approve item 4A by Commissioner Garza.
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Ramirez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Motion carries. Next is 4B, receive a report and hold a discussion on the city's financial credit by Estrada Hinojosa and Company.
Go ahead, Mr. Rivera.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission. My name is Bobby Villarreal. I'm with Estrada Hinojosa. I'm a municipal advisory rep with them. I just want to introduce myself. I know I'm new to the firm. I started with the firm back in November, so since then I've been meeting with Leo Cantu and Albert with the city manager to go over the finances. But I just want to introduce myself to let you know that we have been working with the staff. Just a little bit of background on me. I was the Budget Control Officer, County Executive Director, and Economic Development Director over 15 years in different roles for Hidalgo County. I've been working with Estrada and Hossa on trying to finance the courthouse in Hidalgo County, doing it without a tax rate increase. We managed to do it, actually drop the tax rate. So during that time, the county judge Ramon Garcia was going to retire. The new judge had asked me to stay on, but I received this very nice offer from Estrada and Hossa, and it's something I'm very passionate about. And one of the reasons that he asked me to come aboard, he had been looking at me for a while, was that my card may say San Antonio office, but I'm actually here in McAllen. My kids go to school in McAllen. I'm actually a native of Falfurrias. I was actually a city councilman in Falfurrias for a bit. So this place is near and dear to my heart. My ancestry comes from La Grulla and El Saus. So they migrated towards Falfurrias and Encino, and then I came back. So I'm an accountant. I have a master's degree in accounting from Texas A&M Kingsville. I've taught accounting courses as an adjunct at South Texas College in the evenings. And again, I have a sort of empathize with the roles that you play, because I've actually sat there too. And so I just want to introduce myself and say that I'm here at your leisure. My cell phone is on that card. You call me anytime you wish. I can drive over here in 45 minutes and get over here, assuming DPS doesn't stop me, but as I speed along. But anyway, having said that, I just wanted to take a brief moment to just go over some of the credit that you have right now. And if you look at page 7 on the packet that I left there, it talks about, it says general obligation debt outstanding. And it talks about how there's about $23 million in outstanding bonds out there. However, most of that is supported. Out of the 5 bonds, 4 of them are supported by water and sewer. So really, the second one is the only one that's supported by your ad valorem taxes, your property taxes. And I think essentially out of your tax rate, you're paying that with about 10 pennies out of your tax rate. And again, if you look at your tax rate, you're at about 49.76. And if you look at that first bullet, it says which of these series are currently callable. Callable means that it could be refinanced if there's a better rate out there. And the 2007 A, B, and C series are. However, 2 of those are actually 0% interest with Water Development Board, so there's no reason to go down that avenue. The C one, it is capable of it right now, but we'd have to go out 20 years, and right now we'd have to wait for the audits to get done, because private placement will only go about 10 years, so we need to wait till the audits. But I understand in working with Mr. Cantu and Mr. Perez that things have turned the corner and things are really working out well, and hopefully by the end of the summer we'll have a good feeling about where things are at. We'll also get new values from the appraisal district probably in May. But the city, this is a thriving city. It's unrecognizable from 10 or 15 years ago. It's a credit to you and the commission and your staff for where you are today. And again, one other thing is there's one more coming due that could be refinanced in February of next year. So we'll monitor the credit markets. Again, we'd wait for the audit to come in, and that makes it a little more appealable to the investors of the bond market to buy your bonds or to refinance them. But again, if there's any questions you have for me, please call me, or if you have any right now, I'd be more than willing to answer them.
Well, once we get our audits done, then at that point, we're gonna come back to Mr. Perez and Mr. Cantu and then follow up with any type of potential refinancing or any of our finances and see what it is that we can do at that point. Of course, that's gonna, once that happens. So, thank you.
We're hoping that any refinancing allows you to have a little more capacity for new projects that you may have in the pipeline. And you're a growing city, and the value of your city has gone up by about 45% in 10 years. So you're a growing city. But anyway, thank you. And
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next, business and orders, item 5, contracts and agreements. Letter A, discussion and possible action to approve contract with Zambelli Fireworks Manufacturing Company for the 2019 Freedom Fest. Did I pronounce it correctly? Zambelli, okay.
Mayor and Commissioners, this is a contract. We've been doing business with these folks for several years already. It's nothing's changed. It's pretty much the same. So we're just getting ready for the 2019 Freedom Fest. Ms. Sarah, would you like to add to that?
which is gonna be bigger and better than last year's. Every year we seem to grow it, so
Yes, so Mayor, Commissioners, we are planning this year's Freedom Fest. It'll be June 28th and 29th. And we'll be doing the team roping on Friday. We're planning different sporting events with Parks and Recs they're very supportive of this project. So they're gonna help us with the softball, 3-on-3 basketball. We're trying to bring in a full-size carnival this year and the live music, of course. The cook-off, we're pushing for the entry to be free. So the first thing that we need to take care of is with any Freedom Fest, we need fireworks. So that's why we're trying to get this contract out of the way. This will be the 5th year that we go with Zambelli, and I think they've done an amazing job. And I would hate to change it. They're giving us the same price, which is great. And so they're just requesting a contract at this time, and later on we can split the payment in two, because I know we go after sponsorships, and that's how we cover the cost of the fireworks.
well, adding those additional events definitely is gonna be bigger than
Yes.
last year, so.
We're hoping.
And of course, Solido's still on board, and
Yes.
which is great to continue having that partnership with them. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on this? If not, do we entertain a motion at this time?
I so move, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 5A by Commissioner Ramirez.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye opposed? Motion carries. Next is item 5B, discussion and possible action to approve the interlocal agreement with Tarrant County for the purchase of patrol units through the Tarrant County Cooperative Purchasing Program.
Mayor, Commissioners, Chief Castillo is going to elaborate on why we're going there.
Mayor, Commissioners, this agreement is with Tarrant County. Tarrant County has over 206 agencies throughout the state of Texas that purchase through them, through their cooperative agreement. And this would allow us to purchase the vehicles at a better price and go out to look for other different things with them. And, you know, there's the Stark County Sheriff's Office is the one that actually administers our grant, and they're going to Tarrant County also, so we're going out with them. DPS buys from them, so does Parks, Texas Parks and Wildlife, and other agencies here in the valley. So want to partner up with them. I will need your signature for one of the agreements to purchase those 3 Tahoes that are coming up. They're over $56,000, and you know, that's what we'll be getting from after if you all approve this agreement.
So that was 4, was it Chargers, and then 3
We have 4
Tahoes?
Chargers, and we're going to get 3 fully equipped Tahoes, excluding the camera systems, which we'll have to purchase or exchange from another vehicle.
Right.
So.
Okay. Any further discussion on this item? At this
I so
time,
move,
we
Mayor.
entertain a motion by Commissioner Ramirez. Second by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief. Next is item 5C, discussion and possible action to rescind the previous contract with Smartware Group, DBA, due to solutions for customer relation management software for the Public Utilities Department, and approve a replacement contract for said services with iWorks.
I'll let Mr. Cruz elaborate on this. I do want to give you a little background. The Dude Solutions that we're looking at that time had a very good price for the customer relation piece of the puzzle, but the part that we also were interested in involved the planning department. And in the planning department itself, that was going for $60,000 alone. It was something we were really interested, but since then he's done some more research, and he's Mr. Price Negotiator. So I'll let
Priceline negotiator.
I'll let him explain how he got where he's at now.
Mayor, Commissioners, the last quote from last month was, I think, $1,250, and that was just for the Public Utilities Department, the software system that was going to be used for the public, basically our Public Works, PUD, Parks and Rec. Between last month's meeting and this month, this meeting, we met with iWorks, and they were able to basically, like Mr. Pettis said, incorporate every single department in our city for actually less than what we were going to pay for that one department. Like Mr. Pettis said, it's a cost saving of over $60,000 that we're actually going to be doing. And initially there was going to be an upfront cost in the installation of all those systems and the software systems. They've waived the cost. They're really adamant about getting, having business with us, doing business with the city. So we were able to get this in. It's really a great deal for us, and we just wanted to bring this to so we can pass it and get this going as soon as possible. Like I said, this system will basically be a work order system that will allow us to communicate directly with our community and address all those issues on real time instead of having to wait a day later. Community will be able to actually text, call, send a message in of what's going on, if there's a pothole, trees down, any emergency situation, and we will get real-time feed so that we can create a work order and send our crews out there to go do that. Also with the planning department, it will allow them better accessibility when it comes to the code enforcement and everything that they do in their department as well too. So it's really just a great deal as far as the price goes.
So just to be correct, so the total price is what it says here, 23 grand. Is that what I'm reading?
How much?
It says 23, or am I reading it incorrectly?
No, that's actually waived off, like it said. They were
Okay,
gonna,
so
it was
it's 23
grand.
minus the 950,
No, the grand total is actually 9,500.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
99.
the grand total. So it's actually less than what we were paying for the 1,250 for just the Public Works Department's work order system. I don't know if you remember, Commissioner, there was the Dude Solutions one that we talked about.
Right.
Similar, but we're getting now planning, which like Mr. Pettis says, that's a over $60,000 licensing program, software system that you need. They're basically throwing it in because they really just want to show that they can do it all. And it's a 1-year contract, so they're waiving all initial setup fees and training costs, so it's just really
Okay, and where do you see that 95? Because mine, I'm seeing 23. Okay, so where it says grand total due in red is 23, but it's really 95, right? I want to make sure I'm reading it correctly. Okay.
It's scratched out, and that is the grand total. So those were the prices before. Since then, they've kind of called and they asked what our needs were. We sat down, Mr. Milan and Mr. Perez and I sat down with them. We said, look, this is what we need. We don't need a Cadillac. We don't need a Mercedes. We just need a Chevy. This is what we need, and we want it. Chevy is still a damn good truck. You know what I mean, man? This is what we want. This is what we need. And so
we're committing for 1 year. Is that?
I'm sorry?
Are we committing for 1 year?
Yes, sir. It's just 1 year, yeah.
And then should everything work out, then
we can continue
at that
on,
point.
yeah. And like I said, they're waiving all upfront costs.
Okay.
So right now, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Perez, the planning department is paying over $10,000 a year just for their licensing and fees right now. So essentially, we're paying less than what the planning department is paying just for their fees. So it's a win-win for every single department here in the city.
Is that price going to remain the same next year, or is it going to increase?
If considering we continue the contract and we renew the contract, it will remain the same. Yes, sir. That was the key is
And
that
what
they're waiving.
departments are going to be using this, just to be
So
clear?
you have the PUD,
Okay.
Public Works, you have Parks, you have I'm sorry, we don't have a sanitation department, and you have the planning department as well too.
Okay, so those 4 departments, they'll be accessing this, and there'll be a training for them, and
Yes, the
making
planning
sure that-
department, if you, in the past, if you submitted a request for, let's say you want to build a structure, a commercial building, you have to call in or find out what's the status, or is it moving or not. This way, it should be online, so you'll be able to see it. It's pending whatever. By the way, you're still missing your blueprints or plans or whatever, or you're at disapproval stage, and so they'll be able to see it online without having to call anybody. So you'll have more transparency, so you'll see where you're at in the process.
Okay.
And that was the
if
thing
it's
that-
not moving, you pick up the phone and say, what's going on?
That was what we liked about this system so much, Mayor, was that the citizens will have a live time feed of where their work order is. So as soon as they place their call, once a work order is generated, they're gonna get a text, an email, or a call notifying them that work order's been created. And then when it's closed out, they'll also get a call, text, or email letting them know the status of it, what happened, and that the work order has been closed out. So they're really gonna, it's not just a matter of them having to follow up to see, hey, what happened with that pothole, or what happened with that down tree, or the lift station that was going off. They'll get live feed and feedback on what's going on with their concern.
And Mr. Bettis, we're not incurring any expenses by rescinding the previous contract? And thank you, Mr. Cruz. I remember at the last meeting I had inquired about you finding maybe something that provided a better service at a better price. Thank you for doing that.
No, ma'am. No, thank you.
Well, I mean, at this time, looks good. I mean, at this point, it goes in line with the concept of continuing to be a smart city, which is incorporating technology and efficiency and utilities and all the, and with our residents to make sure there's a direct line of communication with them. And again, going back to efficiency. So at this time, do we entertain a motion?
I so moved.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Flores.
I'll second the motion.
Have a second by Commissioner Ramirez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Maybe next time we'll come when we rescind another action and get it for free, right? I'm just kidding.
You're
Good luck.
No,
good luck with that one.
obviously the next
But hey,
approach,
absolutely.
obviously the next approach would just be obviously to get out the message, letting our constituents know of what this accessibility. We're gonna have to do a live campaign, just getting the message out, letting them know that now they can access us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we will respond, and we will have crews available 24/7 to respond to those calls. But we'll work with that. We'll work along with the city to get all that information out to the community.
And again, reiterating the point about a smart city concept.
Yes, sir.
So incorporating all this and continuing it among all departments and so forth. Great, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to item 5D, discussion and possible action to amend the initial contract offered to reflect a decrease in the contract price with McGuire Iron through an existing cooperative contract with Byboard, contract 504-16, to make repairs and improvements to the 300 kg elevated storage tank located at Hidalgo Street and the 1.5 mg ground storage tank located at San Niño Street.
The same situation. We actually, the next day they came and we had a discussion. They had some numbers off. Long story short, they came back and revised their numbers. The numbers are actually cheaper, offset. So
we're having a great day today.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's back up. He's not getting himself credit. They actually made a little over $500,000 error in the price.
Okay.
And so they came back and said, oops, we got to change the price. And I said, no. We kind of backed off and said, we went to council. You presented to them. You gave them this in writing. And so we sat on it, 2 weeks? And he went back and forth with him.
We played hardball with them.
Yeah, so finally they came back and they said, okay, we're willing to go forward with the agreed price, but I think he got him down a little further. So kudos
Thus
to
the name
Mr.
Priceline
Cruz.
Negotiator. So also with this including every single tank that we had, I know Commissioner Ramirez, you had mentioned that you wanted every single tank included in there.
Right.
The services for repairs for those 2 tanks that are under violation with TCQ were included in the first year. And I know Commissioner Jones, you had a question about when they'd be able to get in there. The tanks, they'll start as early as October as rehabbing. That's just what the scheduling goes. So as early as October, they'll be here rehabbing both of those tanks that are in violation with TCQ. But the minute we sign this letter, we send it out to them, they now take full responsibility over every single tank that we have in the city of Edinburgh. So we'll send that letter to TCQ and say, okay.
Wrong city.
City of Rio Grande.
What did I say? Oh, I'm sorry. The city of Rio Grande City. Somebody in Edinburgh's talking about me. We'll send it to the city.
Now you're gonna have to go and wrap your car with Rio Grande City. All right, I'm gonna have to do that, sir. Sorry. You're gonna have to wrap your car in Rio Grande City logos or something. Now you know.
I apologize. Somebody in Edinburgh's talking about me.
A truck.
Yeah, it's a Chevy truck. So yeah, long story short, they will take full responsibility of it. No longer be the responsibility of the city of Rio Grande City. I can't do it quite as good as you. And also at that point too, within 30 days of us signing this, they will start the demolition of, I know Mr. Jones, you also were inquiring about that as well too, about the old, the 2 million gallon tank.
Yeah.
They can start that within 30 days as well too, once we sign this. So within 30 days, you're gonna see a lot of activity in the city, and it's just all the great things that the council's passing and
we
moving on these.
did decide on removing the one that's right there in front of the water plant, right?
That's the one we voted on last
We'll
month.
start seeing movement on that one in
30 days.
30 days and see what we're gonna do there is what would be something to.
So some of the options that I know some council members have individually approached me about is obviously looking at doing some type of billboard there, electronic billboard. So I have gotten with Lamar and some other companies to see about possibly leasing or maybe the city purchasing it ourselves and then renting that space out. Obviously, it'd be a great way to generate revenue for the city of Rio Grande City. So there's different options that I'm looking at. I'll bring it next month to the city council to see what they decide and what direction you guys want to go from there, ladies and gentlemen.
And definitely consider that would be something that we can generate some revenues, and at the same time, something that would look very good as far as welcoming people that are coming in on the west side coming over. That would be, I think that some type of billboard, some type of electronic version would be ideal. But any other options, you just bring them to the commission, and then we'll decide.
Yeah, we'll have an electronic version, and then we'll have the standalone, the regular signs that are there. The biggest thing is once they start, it'll take about 3 months total. So we have a little bit of time to kind of figure out a plan from there. Okay.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we do expect your vehicle to be wrapped here, all right? So by tomorrow, all right? Thank you, Mr. Appreciate it. All right, next item, 6B, discussion and possible action to appoint members to the Planning and Zoning Commission, 6B.
An action item?
Mayor, motion.
Action.
Oh, my apologies. Where are we here? Discussion. All right, so item 5D. We have a motion at this time. Okay, we have a motion to approve. Item 5D, I am in the correct one, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I have a second by Commissioner Flores. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Next item is item 6B, discussion and possible action to appoint members to the Planning and Zoning Commission. 6B, Mr. Milan.
Mr. Milan.
Good evening, gentlemen, ladies. For the last couple of months, we've had a couple of vacancies in the Planning and Zoning Commission. And it's important that every month we have a quorum to obviously recommend properly to the City Council for the proper decisions for development of the city. And the chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission has recommended a couple of local people that they both live inside the city boundaries, and they're interested in participating in this decision-making help. Number one, I have Ms. Vanna Clark. She is a native of Rio Grande City.
Right.
She works for the school district. She is a homebound teacher, and she's working to be a diagnostician, certified diagnostician. And she comes from a family that is expert on the development and construction of subdivisions.
Okay.
We have her in the audience.
Ms. Clark, would you like to say a few words if you wish?
Just thank you for this opportunity.
Well, thank you for wanting to serve. And again, this goes to anyone who's willing to serve. Please come and visit with Mr. Perez in any and all capacities. But thank you for wanting to serve. Appreciate it.
Second, we have Mr. Antonio Ramirez. Fortunately, he couldn't come to this meeting. Today is his mom's birthday in McAllen. He lost his dad quite a few years ago, but he's been more than glad to serve in this committee. Mr. Ramirez, a brief history, he's also a native of Rio Grande City. He lives within the city boundaries, and he also has plenty of experience in the engineering service. From the years 2000 to 2003, he has worked for Elias Aguilar, surveying. From 2003 to 2012, he served for Meldon Hunt, and currently he's hired at JF Utility Trenching. So, experience in development, easements, subdivisions, etc., water, sewer lines, he's got plenty. And again, he's been more than glad to dedicate his time to this committee.
Fantastic. This time, any further discussion? Entertain a motion at this time. Okay, we have a motion to approve item 6B by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I opposed. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Milan. And don't leave, Ms. Clark. We're gonna take a picture here in a little bit. Let's, item 7, executive session, chapter 551, Texas Government Code, section 551.071, consultation with attorney, section 551.074, personnel matters, and section 551.087, economic development matters. It is approximately 7:01 p.m. Back from executive session, it is 7:47 PM. That was item 8, reconvene into regular session in consideration of action on matters discussed during executive session, including the following. Letter A, discussion and possible action regarding legal issues with 600 Northwest Street, Rio Grande City. There's no action on this item. Letter B, discussion and possible action regarding personnel matters. No action on this item. Letter C, 8C, discussion and possible action regarding legal issues concerning contemplated litigation and contract disputes. Have a motion?
Yes, Mayor, I move to authorize city attorney to investigate contract disputes and other litigation matters as discussed in executive session.
We have a motion by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Flores. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I opposed. Motion carries. Next is item 8D, discussion and possible action regarding legal issues with the United States of America versus 131.99 acres of land, more or less situated in Stark County, state of Texas. And there's no action on this item. This time, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Ramirez. Second by Commissioner Jones. All those in favor signify by saying aye. I opposed. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. It is 7:48 PM.